Well, hello everyone, I'm Postmaster Radio and it's time to bring on the funny. You're listening to Ujokes Weekly, the one and only podcast highlighting Jonathan Mangum's fantastically funny virtual comedy show Ujokes, where both players and viewers can play along and battle it out for the ultimate crown of comedy. It's literally comedy gold at your fingertips, and today I'm counting down my picks for the top jokes from this week's Ujokes show, the 99th episode, to be precise, with newcomer Chip Nicholson taking on returning player Ariel Elias. She came back for more. Was she able to take down Chip though, or did you guys on YouTube and wherever else you were playing from had something to say? You'll find out soon enough, but first, if you missed last week's Ujokes show with Keitra Long and Danielle Perez, catch up via the podcast link in the description. The show is also available for you to watch on the Ujokes YouTube channel. Also, to continuing listeners, brand new ones too, thanks for joining me today on Ujokes Weekly. If this is your first time listening, please leave those ratings and reviews if you happen to be listening from Apple Podcasts or Pod Chaser. And of course, you know how we do it here on the old Ujokes podcast. Top 5 countdown will be coming up in a few seconds. My 5 favorite jokes from the night, followed by the Ujokes Awards, full of additional highlights to come. But now enough chit chat, let's dive right into it. Spot numero 5 on this week's Ujokes countdown goes to a little game called Bumble Brag, which is basically filling in someone's dating profile for the picture at hand, which in this case was a guy with, and this is the best I can do for describing this pic, a guy, and it's like there are a few, I'm just gonna say, plastic baby doll parts inside the dude's stomach. The important thing is, were that monstrosity of a pic, and I hope this does not actually happen in real life, but were that pic to pop up on somebody's dating profile, what would that person's profile say? That's the challenge. But anyway, the joke at hand to begin the countdown. Pretty dark humor, fair warning from Motown fan 1962. My twin tried to subsume me in the womb. He failed. He was weak. Oh yeah, was it dark humor? Absolutely. Yet, I don't know, one of those je ne sais quoi factors. It somehow feels like a joke of extremely dark proportions managed to fit in with this extremely dark pic. Well, in my opinion, maybe not extreme, but there has to be some word to describe that pic besides monstrosity. Oh boy. Well, anyway, well done, Motown fan. And it turns out, at least from what I saw on the YouTube chat, this is Motown fan's first time being plucked from Team Audience. So better late than never. That's all I'm going to say. Next up at spot number 4 on the old Ujokes countdown, we go to the last game of the night, Happy Hour. That's the name of the game, and for the picture of 2 nuns drinking beer, the players had to come up with the drink name. Maybe not the winning joke from Happy Hour, unlike Motown fans from Bumble Brag, but a pretty puntastic one, if you ask me, from Chip Nicholson.
None your business.
We also would have accepted none your damn business if they took a sip.
Oh, a nice add-on from Jonathan, too. That was good. So moving on now to spot numero 3 on the Ujokes countdown. This time we go to a game called Sounds Like Sumthin. And for the sound of, well, I would call this a dolphin suffering from a bad case of indigestion, but this was the sound effect. And here it is again. But yeah, based on that sound, the players, and you guys too, had to answer this now age-old question: what the hell is that sound supposed to be? Ariel Elias had a good joke. I was sure that joke was going to win Sounds Like Sumthin. It did not. Oh well though, what can you do? At least this time, Ariel didn't have to go up against Wayne Brady. That's the good news I have to offer in this scenario. But anyway, her joke, the sound your car makes after your dad swore he could restore it. Yeah, that joke pretty much speaks for itself. Well done though, Ariel Elias. Such a funny one. Now moving on to my second favorite joke from the night spot, numero dos on the countdown. This one is for a wee little thing called Last Show's Best. Karen Fraser happens to be in the spotlight for this one, but before I tell you more, here's what you need to know about Last Show's Best, and this is now more important than ever. You see, not everyone can compete on Ujokes Live, sad but true. So maybe if you were watching live, but your joke or jokes were not picked, or if you couldn't make it and you're now just watching after the fact, that's okay too. You can type your joke into the YouTube comment section, joke or jokes, I should be saying. Jonathan and Josh, the producer, will go back and look through all of the jokes. Whichever joke is numero uno, whoever submitted that joke gets to compete in the final round of play on the next Ujoke show, which in next week's case, if all goes to plan, will be coming up, first of all, on Monday, December 13th at 6 p.m. Pacific Time, 9 Eastern, but it will also serve as the show's 100th episode. So I'm willing to bet you don't want to miss out on not only watching the show, but if you happen to win Last Show's Best, I bet you'd like a chance to be on Ujokes next week especially. So now you know about Last Show's Best. What was Karen Fraser's joke that enabled her to win the lovely title at hand? Well, this was a good joke. Bit of a shame, though, that she was not able to play this week, but these things happen. There was one game on last week's show that was very dominant in the jokes. If you ask me, name the movie for the picture of a baby stuck in the toilet. There were some good jokes like, oh baby, I ain't gonna take this crap, or pee pee poo, and of course Jaws 5. So those were good, yeah, but Karen Fraser, well done to you. Honey, I flushed the kids. Well done, Karen. Too bad you weren't able to play along in the YouTube chat live this time, but hey, there's always next time, and well done once again, Karen. Now, last but certainly not least, my favorite joke of the night spot, number 1 on the countdown, goes back to Ariel Elias from the game Jingalong, which is one of my favorite games, not just because of the jingles and the musical elements in it, but for the totally non-existent farts in a can. And yes, you heard me, farts in a can. You've got to come up with a jingle for this very unique item. Of course, those of you playing out on the audience, if Jonathan picks you, he'll sing the jingle himself. Not that it matters, because at the top spot, Ariel Elias earning the crown of comedy this time with this very catchy jingle.
Okay, sorry for singing, but I wrote this little medley for the silent but deadly. Get ready, folks, to turn on the fan. It's farts in a can.
I love it. Silent but deadly. Turn on the fan. Farts in a can. Good stuff.
Yeah, I just want to play that jingle again, but I'm not going to, because otherwise then I would get it stuck in my head for the rest of my life. That is how good this jingle was, in my opinion anyway. Well done, Ariel Elias. And I should mention, you may have been robbed of the win in Sounds Like Sumthin, but you definitely deserved the win in Jingalong. Well done to you. And now we go on to the Ujokes Awards, full of additional highlights. It's basically like the Oscars, except, well, Ujokes themed. Comedian of the Week, as if I need to say it, Ariel Elias, for reasons we've just discussed. And I'm not the only one who loved Ariel's jokes, because it was a unanimous vote for the old favorite comedian poll on Twitter. For Instagram, 12 votes, 8-4 in Ariel's favor. Speaking of which, shout out to this week's voters on Instagram. I'll do the ones that voted for Ariel first. We have Elizabeth Hess, Chase Mayers, Scotland Green, user Matt_ABRHM, Miss Ariel herself, and by the way, thank you so much for voting on my little old poll, and if you do happen to be listening to the podcast, I can't stress this enough, you were on fire this week. You really should come back to Ujokes a third time if possible. But anyway, those 5, and then we also have Gabe Mollica, Gianmarco Cerezi, and Michael Tideman. As for those who voted for Chip Nicholson, shout out to you guys as well. Elite Concrete, user _alpha_man with 2 N's, followed by one of my good friends, Mac, and then followed by another friend of mine. This vote, though, comes from the Who's Live Anyway fan page, so I'll assume this is from either Caitlin or Miss Angela. But either way, thank you all for voting. Next up is Game of the Week. I'm going to give that one to Jingalong, love that game, especially thanks to Ariel's jingle. In terms of what you guys thought on Twitter, the votes went to Happy Hour. No votes on Insta, but bonus shout out to Karen Fraser for her extra comment. My shout out for winning last week's best. Yeah, I know how good that feels. I can relate to that. Speaking of which, one more shout out to you, Karen, is definitely in order because you've won the Audience Award. Yes, you had the best joke from Team Audience this week, even though it was submitted last week, but still, that's the beauty of last show's best. Congratulations! And as for Manga Moment, the award that truly shines the spotlight on Ujokes host Jonathan Mangum, I'm actually going to give it to his intro, just because of the reminder that this week's Ujokes show reached its 99th episode, like 99 bottles of beer on the wall, and of course 99 like 99 love balloons. I love those references from Jonathan in the intro. Plus just that reminder that next week, if all goes to plan, Ujokes will be celebrating its 100th episode, which is so exciting. I really can't wait for that. Anyway, that's it for the Ujokes Awards. That's almost it for today's podcast, but first, a couple of final announcements. You already know, of course, that if all goes to plan, the next Ujokes show, the 100th episode, will be coming up on Monday, December the 13th. Something else you might be interested in checking out is FMK Champions, hosted by College Humor's Carolyn Page. There was a holiday show last night, a holiday-themed FMK, so check that out on the Ujokes YouTube channel. You can also check out the latest episode of High Jokes Score. You know that comedy competition where jokes equal cash? It's pretty much over at this point, sorry to tell you, but tune in tomorrow. Jonathan will be releasing the last High Jokes Score video detailing who won the 6th and final session, who will get a small cash prize for winning last week's episode, a slightly bigger cash prize for winning the entire 6th and final session, and a $250 prize for the one that had the best joke from the very beginning out of all the 6 sessions. Check that out, why don't ya? And be sure to also get Ujokes/FMK merch via the link in the description. Plus check out the Ujokes website, created by Ujokes fanatic Craig in the UK, aka ujokes.com, which, by the way, is also available to you via one of the links in the description, so get on that too. And with that being said, now that's it for Ujokes Weekly. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you had a great time. Make sure to stay connected with me on Twitter and Insta at Postmaster Radio, plus like, subscribe, comment, rate, and review on Spreaker, Spotify, the Apple and Google podcast platforms, YouTube, iHeartRadio, the list goes on. The account links can be found in the description. Thanks again for tuning in, and until next time, well, bye for now, Ujokes fans. See ya!